Ashley Howard with Ashley Howard Teaches, and we are doing tutor plans and foundations memory work for CC Cycle 2 Week 4, 5th edition. I am so excited you have decided to join us. If you haven't already, would you please hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss a thing on the next video. I think at the time of this video, we're at 936 subscribers. Almost to that 1,000 mark. I would love for you to hit that subscribe button. That would just mean the world to me. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for liking this video. And now we will get started. So we will start with Latin. So for Latin this week, we are doing first conjugation endings again. So we will start with our bomb word. I give each student a chance to come to the front, and they get to be our conductor of our song. So I let them either pick it out or I give it to them and I pull them out of a special bag. And so they'll get something like this, like a pool noodle, and they'll do their Latin like this, and they get to get a sticker afterwards after they have completed that. So that is how we do Latin this week. Let's move on to math. So for math this week, we are skip counting by 7s and 8s. And as always, I have these spray printables down below. They're cute, they're in color, you put a ring around them, and they can go through these in class or practice them at home. They're a super great resource, and it's totally free for you down below. So enjoy that. For those number cards, I have had a bad laminator forever, and I just switched to a new one, so I had to share this with you guys. It's a Scotch laminator, and I will link that below, the exact one that it is. But if you're looking for one that puts regular paper, not just cardstock, it doesn't make it wrinkled, it comes out perfect every time, it doesn't get jammed, this one is great. Also, if you're getting value out of this video, would you hit that like button and that subscribe button? That helps so much. All right, so for 7s and 8s, I will go through and we'll point to these a couple of times. I like to put a little sticker on their finger, and as they point, they have their sticker on their finger, and we go through them that way. And afterwards, for our 7s, we're going to sit in a circle, crisscross applesauce, and we are going to pass around our snowball. And as we do this, we're going to play the music, skip counting by 7s, and occasionally I will stop the music, and then the student will get to fill in the blank that it stops on. So if we're doing 7s and we stop at 14, they'll fill it in for 21. And if they don't know the answer, that's okay. They can get their friends to help. And then we continue the song. So that's what we will do for 7s. So now moving on to 8s. So for skip counting by 8s, I like to pull out my parachute. Now I have a really cute parachute and I will link it down below, but I cannot find it right now. So I pulled out a blanket. So you can use anything, a sheet, a blanket, make it work for you. So we'll start this by going low and then high. And as we sing them, we'll pick up the pace slowly. So we'll go through them a couple times and sing them slowly as we go up and down with our parachute. And then we will sing them quicker and quicker. And then for the last one, I like to let them put a ball on top, and we can make the ball bounce as we go through our 8. So that is our skip counting by 8s. So let's move on to English. So for English this week, I like to either bring instruments, and I will link some cute ones down below, or I like to make instruments. So it's so easy to make them. You can put 2 paper plates, staple them together, put some beans or some Cheerios or whatever you have on hand, and they make great shakers for you in your class. So that's kind of fun. You can even poke a hole in them and tie some ribbons on them. They make a great tambourine. Or you can get some instruments. So what we will do is we'll sing our English, and we kind of do it in a chant. So we'll go I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. Like I said, I have some cute little instruments linked below, or you can just use paper plates stapled together. That makes it super fun, super easy. So let's move on to history. Also, I wanted to let you know I have a free Spanish printable in the description below for you to use for fun. I also have one that I sell that's a beginner Spanish unit, and it's super cheap, super good, and it has about 40 pages to it. So I hope you enjoy that as well. So history, we will start with our hand motions. For English, we're going to put our proper hands like this. And for king, we will put our crown on like this. And then for sign, we're going to sign our signature like this. And then for magna, we're gonna make a big M. And then for carta, we'll make a big C like this. 15 routine, we're going to go like this 3 times. And then for limited, we're going to sink to the ground. And then for power, we're gonna jump up and have strong arms like this. For later, we're gonna go like this and put our arms forward and jump backwards. So we're gonna go later. And then for king, we're going to put our crown back on like this. And then for third, we're going to put 3 fingers out. So then for king again, we're going to put our crown back on. And for France, we're going to make the Eiffel Tower and make our arms like this. Then for 100 years war, we're gonna put 10 fingers out like this and remind them that 10 times 10 is 100. So that's why we're doing this. And then war, we're gonna go like this, like 2 sides are fighting. Then for 37, we're just going to put 7 fingers out to make it easy. So those are our hand motions for history this week. Now, what you can do to kind of make it a little more fun is bring a crown, and each child gets, because we talk a lot about kings in this history week, so each child gets to wear the crown as we sing the song. So that's another fun way, or you could just have a crown for each student. So either way, it makes it a little more fun for them. All right, so we have gone through so much already. Let's move on to science. So for science this week, it's super short again. We're talking about some parts of the food chain. So we will start with producer. So for producer, we're going to go like this, like we're making something. Then for consumer, we're gonna go like this really fast, like we're consuming something. And then for decomposer, we're gonna will down like this. After we've done our hand motions a couple times, we're going to play quiet as a lion. Now those are opposite, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start out really quiet and say ours, and then we're gonna get louder and louder and louder. And by the end, they'll be yelling it and having a great time. So we'll go, what are some parts of the food chain? Consumer, producer, decomposer. And then we'll get louder and louder and louder. So they have fun with that one. That is the end of our science. We can move on to hands-on fine art. For art, we are doing abstract art. What I like to do is show them examples of abstract art first. Anytime we do fine art, I love to show them examples. So this book is called the Usborne Children's Book of Art. Now there are some interesting portraits in here, so you want to be careful when you're opening it, but I always tag it. So I show them one abstract art that Kandinsky created, and we talk about the lines and how you see the emotion and the colors, but you don't see exact figures and things like you would think they would look. You see more of their emotion and their feelings. So we talk about that. I also like to use this book, which is called Katie's Picture Show. I will link these below. These are awesome books. And I tell you why, because they are great with being at a children's level and talking about the different great paintings and artists of the time. So I will show you that here. So this one, she jumps into these different paintings. So here is one of the modern art pictures, the abstract art that she shows us here. So you can talk about the lines and the shape and the oils and how everything looks in these pictures, and talk about what abstract art really means and what it does. So these are great for at home too. They go through, there's a bunch of these books, and they're wonderful for teaching art in a sweet and laid back and wholesome way. So I hope you enjoy those. Also, I have this fun game for abstract art. Now this is not my own game, so I will not take credit for that. I will leave the link below for you to find. So let me show you this paper real quick. So it's called abstract art, and what you do is you give each student a dice to roll, and they can kind of do this on their own while you're listening to classical music. You give them a blank piece of paper and they roll, and so if they get like a 1, they put a circle on their paper, and if they roll a 2, then they put lines. And we go through that, and you can make the pictures as detailed as you want, or you can go through this for 5 minutes. So it gives them time to kind of do their own abstract art and have fun with it with the dice. I also have a picture linked below. It's of a cat, and I love doing this one every year. This is one that after we have talked about abstract art, after we've kind of done our fun drawing, then I go step by step with them, and we learn to draw a cat, but we don't color the cat in the normal kind of way. We color it with abstract colors. So we do one side purple, one side yellow. Now, I did not make this sheet either, but I will link it below. I use this all the time. I love it. So those are some fun ways to do abstract art. Of course, always, if we have time left over, I have blank paper and colors for them to do their own abstract art and have fun with. All right, on to review. Guys, if I ever forget anything, let me know. One of my viewers told me you aren't doing review games anymore, and I just completely forgot to. So I'm so glad when y'all leave me comments. It just makes my day better. All right, so let's move on to review. So one of my top favorite review games to do is bowling. So what I do is I put the name of the subject on the bowling pin. I will link some cute bowling pins down below. This one was super cute, super cheap, and even came with a bag to put them in. And so what they do is they roll the ball and they get the subject, they knock it over, and we cheer, get really excited for them, and then they tell the subject, then they get to answer the question for that week. I usually put them in 2 teams just to make it more fun, and I always have them learn to encourage each other. And while I bring that up, I always like to kind of have a Bible verse that we kind of go by that day. So for this day, it's encourage one another daily. So we kind of talk about that as well. So that is our review game for this week. Now, if they start to get a little tired of bowling, you can always bring in trash get ball. That is another top favorite, and all you need for trash get ball is an empty trash can or even a bucket from home, and they practice making baskets from far off. You can bring a ball from home, you can bring paper that you've used that you don't need anymore, and just make it super fun, and they answer questions after they make a basket. So I hope you enjoyed this video for this week. Would you do me the biggest favor and like this and subscribe it and share it with your friends? Oh my goodness, what a joy it is to get to talk to you guys. I would love to hear your comments, love to hear your input. Thank you for sticking around to the end. I will see you next time. Goodbye.